that it's as effective as a narcotic, and you don't have the sort of like either speedy or like super fatiguing.
You don't get the fun part.
You don't get the fun part, but
if it's fun for you,
some people don't like it.
Yeah, some people don't feel right on it.
I also find it hard to believe this is going to heal in 3 weeks. I snapped my collarbone in half. I don't really understand, but that's what he said, and.
Now, can you tell us the comedic version of what happened, or is it just going to be like a drag?
Yeah, like did you do a funny kind of like into a garbage can, and was there like
tell us the story?
It was okay. So my wife and I took my wife and kids and nephew, and we all went snowboarding in Mammoth, which we do many times a year, every year. I've been doing this for a long time, and. It was on the last run of the last day, and the crazy thing is, I was at the top, and I was talking to my buddy Shane, who lives. Maybe you've met Shane. Have you met Shane, Jill's friend from high school, who lives in Mammoth? Shane Hennis.
No.
So Shane, he always comes out and boards with us. He lives in Mammoth, and we were at the top, and I told Shane, I was like, yeah, this is my last run, and he goes, oh no. He's like, dude, never say that. Never say that. That's really bad luck. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, like that. You've never heard that? And I'm like, no. I was like, okay. And I made a joke. I was like, this is not my last run. I'm going to go on a number of runs.
Do you think because he said that to you, you were maybe a little extra tight or something? Like,
I don't know, but I and he felt really bad too, because I think he thought maybe that he got in my head.
Like he was just joking around, but
no, it is an actual superstition amongst skiers and snowboarders.
Can we set the scene a little bit more? So because there are viewers now, but there are listeners who have no idea what we're talking about.
What do you mean?
We haven't addressed that you've been hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you have a sling.
We dove right in.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Glenn has a giant cast that I believe we'll all sign. His leg is immobilized.
Well, not a cast, it's a sling.
His leg is immobilized. No, I'm setting a...
He's trying to do a dramatic
I'm just making it
more
of a thing.
I didn't sleep great last night.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so you didn't sleep great and you're in pain. Okay, this should be great, Megan.
He slept great, but his jokes are bad. So I broke my clavicle. I snapped my clavicle. I was going off a jump at the very beginning of a run. I was doing the park. Yeah, it's probably not something a 45-year-old man should still be doing.
At what age do you stop
doing
jumping?
When do you stop going to parks just in general? Like, I mean, playgrounds more, because they call it a park, but really it's a playground for children.
Well, no, it's like big jumps and stuff like that.
I know, but what I'm saying is it would be equivalent. Like when you say a park, you think, oh, Central Park, it's a nice place to, but what that is like an adventure land of moguls and jumps, and it's quite dangerous.
For people who don't ski or snowboard, the park is a section on certain runs that they have where they have like, jumps and boxes. They have like features that you can do crazy shit off of on your skis or snowboard. And I was going off a particularly high, big jump, and one that I'd done many times before and landed beautifully. And I did not land beautifully this time. This time I landed right on a corner, and I caught an edge, and it whipped me to the ground at a speed that is beyond my comprehension, because I literally remember I landed on the corner and then I was on the ground.
Yeah.
And I hit my head so hard. So fucking hard. Like if I didn't have a helmet on, I would 100% be dead. 100, there's no doubt in my mind I'd be dead right now if I wasn't wearing a helmet. So please, everybody out there, when you're snowboarding, when you're skiing, even when you're skiing, I mean, it's more important when you're snowboarding, I think, because like when you're skiing, you tend to fall on your side because your skis are going this way. But when you're on a snowboard, it's so easy to whip backwards and fall back onto your head or forward.
So that's what it was. You whipped backwards.
I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't understand how I landed on my shoulder. Jill was like, "You're on a snowboard. How do you land on your shoulder? Because the board is going."
Yeah, if you turn, I guess you turned your body.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what happened, but I think I landed on my shoulder first, and then, whipped my head into the ground, broke the clavicle. But weirdly, the thing that hurts more than that is my back. It like jacked my back up really bad. So that's the thing that I'm experiencing the most pain with is my back.
It's such a dangerous sport. You're flying down a mountain. You're flying down a mountain, and gravity is pulling you down as fast as possible.
Wasn't there a guy? There's an actor that just got killed.
Yeah. Somebody just, so sad.
A French actor, right? Yeah. I heard about that.
Die all the time skiing.
Yeah. It's.
But it's also the few times that I've gone, it is very fun.
It's super fun.
So fun.
And if you're a radical person,
who
wants to just like
stay radical,
shred,
and you want to stay radical, and you want to shred,
you have to shred. You must
but the problem with that, I imagine now that like Jill is taking care of both your boys and has to like open a can of peas for you. It feels very unradical.
That's
for
less
her.
radical, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For both of you, really, because you're sort of an invalid.
Canned peas.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm
She's got to wash my kale.
Trying to, yeah. She's got to rinse your kale. You can't do it.
It actually hurts to laugh.
Okay. Let's try not to make Glenn laugh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It does. That's okay. I'll power through it because I do enjoy. I do enjoy a good laugh. Hour last night in many days. That felt good. Oof.
Great.
And bad because it hurt. Everything hurts. It hurts. I don't know if you guys know this, but broken bones hurt.
I don't really know it.
I've never broken a bone.
Little hairline fracture.
But I think I've broken a couple toes, like stubbing them. Because they've turned like really stiff and blue and swollen, but I've never really broken a bone before.
Rob was mentioning. You want to bring it up?
Yeah. I was listening to the most recent podcast, "The Gang Exploits a Miracle," and you are talking very specifically about doing stunts because you did one where you fell. We were talking about how great the stunt was. You fell off a stool.
Off the stool.
Yeah, and you were like, back when I was younger, I would do those kinds of stunts, and it was like it would be fun. But now I would be nervous that I would like break my shoulder. You literally say like I'm gonna like separate my shoulder, so I don't like do stupid things anymore like that because I don't want to hurt my shoulder.
Oh man!
Now, can you classify skiing as stupid? Yes, I do think. But also fun. Undeniably fun.
There's just a risk involved. It's like if you want to ski, you want to ski the park, as you say. Guys, you want to ride a motorcycle. There's a risks involved.
That's how I get off.
Yeah,
I know.
You know what I mean? Like that's how it makes you. There's something about being just on the edge of breaking something or really hurting yourself that like makes you feel alive.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you've shredded some serious gnar.
I have, but I've slowed down.
When was the last time? Yeah, you don't go.
I went last year. If my kids were super into it, I would go. I didn't learn how to ski. The first time I went skiing, I was in my 30s, I think. And the same for you, right?
Oh, when we did the episode. Was that the first time you'd ever skied when we did the skiing?
We all were all your bachelor party.
No, but
I was snowboarding then, but I learned how to snowboard in my like I was 30 or 31.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. We learned at the same time.
Same time, yeah.
Yeah, because we were going out with Zach Knighton. He was like taking us to Big Bear and stuff like that. And I'd been skiing my whole life, but I always wanted to try.
It was super fun. I just see more and more people getting very seriously hurt. And I'm like, I enjoy it, but not enough
really
for that. Yeah.
I went like twice as a kid to a place called Yawgoo Ski Valley in Rhode Island. So it was more like a hill than a mountain. There was like one chair, but you were down at the bottom of the chair in 10 minutes, And then I didn't go again until your bachelor party. So I was in my 30s or whatever. And the very first run, I went with you guys and you guys all just went flying down the hill. And I was like, where the fuck am I? I'm like, oh, I'm on like a triple black diamond. And I was like, I can see like a cliff to my left. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get down this thing? And I basically,
you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just go.
Just go.
I figured
Don't
it was like
a bitch.
I know
just
how
go.
to ice skate, so maybe it's like the edges. So I turn to the side. I like do that little jump and turn, and then I'm like just stopped.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. Wait.
I remember you being really good at it.
This is what I was about to say. Okay, so we talked about this in an earlier episode.
Charlie's a good athlete.
Maybe you wouldn't expect it, but Charlie is possibly the best athlete of the three of us, and I think that's definitely true. Well, and this is just another example of that because I remember you saying like I haven't skied since I was like a kid, and I remember thinking like, oh, this is gonna be a little rough, and you looked like somebody who skis, not like expert, but like you looked like somebody who knew it.
Well, I did it, but that was rough. That was going down that black diamond. I wound up going down on my butt. and then being like, fuck, I gotta go back up on this hill. Like the whole time just being like trying to survive, you know, not really like joyriding, just be like, just let me get to the bottom without a broken collarbone.
On that first run,
when we did the episode, you and I went out with a ski instructor and she's like, I'll have you going down Black Diamonds within an hour. And she did. But
That's impressive.
She was really good. And that was the last time I've been on a mountain. So now I feel like if I went again, I'd have to relearn it again.
It would come back to you. It's in your body.
I don't want a broken collarbone though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it's like you said, it's like, is that something that you enjoy so much that you're willing to possibly have a broken collarbone? Because the first thing I thought was, you know, after I really, really hurt my ankle playing basketball in my late 20s, that pretty much was the end. I mean, I still play basketball occasionally, but like I don't really play anymore because of that. And I thought like, oh no, like, am I going to lose snowboarding? It's my favorite thing in the world to do. And I was like, but then I just kind of was like, you know what, I'll heal and I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm just going to keep doing it because I love it.
It's like like I like to ride a motorcycle. I learned how to ride I'm like, oh, this is fun, and it's not worth it to me to like go out and get like murdered on a freeway. But for so many people, they're like that. The risk is worth it to me because it's so much fun.
Yeah,
I kind of said the whole thing gets thrown out of whack when you have kids, right? Like when you have kids, it's no longer just your life, right? Like it seems like it'd be very cool to zip around on a motorcycle all the time. I think I would enjoy that, but I'm also like, but then if I totally no fault of my own, get fucking hit by someone who's texting, right? And then that's it. I'm like, fucked.
That's the thing, yeah.
Or it's like, my kid has to feed me through a straw or something for the rest of my life because I'm paralyzed. Like, then that I don't feel like I can justify that level of risk yet. Maybe when they're out the door, it's like, hey, look, you're 18 and I'm 105. I'm gonna go ride motorcycles now or whatever. But that's just me. I think I'm overly cautious with that.
You're risk averse.
I'm risk averse. I am.
You are very risk averse.
Is he?
Yeah, I think so. Not in an unhealthy way.
I wouldn't think. I understand what you're saying, but I wouldn't have thought of you that way. Now that being said,
he's more measured. Like we tend to go like all like hot in various things. And not that he doesn't get hot, but
we're both Aries.
We're
both Aries.
Christ,
you know that was it's in the stars.
Is that a new thing?
It's in the stars. Okay,
it's in the stars. It was in the stars.
This is ancient knowledge. Okay. That's never going to change. Like where you are born in relation to the stars is who you are. There's nothing you can do about it. You're an Aries. I'm an Aries.
And that's just the way it is.
Hot and we're just radical by nature.
Just radical by nature.
Yeah, no, that's just how it is.
Oof, that just sounds like a cool band name we should start.
Radical by nature.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good and bad.
Too close to naughty by nature,
well,
correct?
I know. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. And naughty by nature is just a better name.
Well, but we're not naughty. We're radical.
You've never been naughty.
Radical by reputation. This is the first episode of season 3.
Yeah.
So we're picked up for one season?
Yeah.
Yes.
They picked us up for one season.
For one season.
Yeah. We have 15 episodes.
15 episodes. So we're excited about that. We don't realize yet how difficult that's going to be for us.
Yeah.
We have an office for the first time in Marina Del Rey. Couldn't be further from my house.
It was actually Playa Del Rey.
Playa Del Rey, that's right. A good long commute for me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Crazy. I couldn't believe it.
Brutal.
Crazy.
You really took one for the team.
I was thinking about that. It's a real pattern as I drove into this podcast this morning. It's like we set up a real, like never has there ever been an office in my neighborhood.
Well, no.
You know, you guys have never quite had to hike all the way over there.
So the office was in Playa del Rey, and people outside of California might not understand the geography, but just this will give you a good sense. Where I lived was Marina del Rey. So
you were right next door. I
was in the Del Reys. You can put two together. And Glenn was in Venice, which is right next to Marina Del Rey. So they were all kind of right next to each other.
And I was like an hour and a half away.
You might as well be on another fucking planet.
It was all good though. I don't mind to drive, but those offices were a dump.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, but we had stages next to them?
Yes. Also a dump. they weren't really stages. They were like they were old like factories or something, and they had quote unquote outfitted it. But it was also by the airport.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I remember like those stages, because that's the whole point of being on a stage, right? Is you're in a very controlled environment where you control the sound and the look and everything, but you could hear every single airplane.
We were literally next to fucking LAX. So every 8 minutes, a new plane would go over, which you just don't realize. You're not thinking about it when you're not on a soundstage and everybody's quiet. How often an airplane is going over your head.
Soundstage is a real generous term for what that was. It was like a warehouse that like they just finally stopped like using as a chop shop, and they're like, "You want to make a movie here? Yeah, go ahead."
Yeah.
Is it soundproof?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. What do you mean, like a roof? Yeah, we got a roof.
It's not quite what we mean, but yeah.
Yeah. I think that was the first year we had an assistant.
It was.
Yeah.
Adam Stein.
Adam Stein.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Because he would get us coffees from Starbucks every morning. And that's the first time I had like someone like getting us a coffee.
Right. Oh,
That
God.
felt very Hollywood.
It felt very professional.
Would you guys like something in the morning? Yes, please. I would like a coffee. And then it would be there. You would show up and they would hand you a coffee. And you'd be like, this is cold.
And we had a writing
What the
staff.
fuck?
We
Go
had
back and get another one.
That's
and
right.
make sure it's hot.
Scream at him.
Yeah, immediately. That's
Yeah,
what
I've got to put them in their
Throw
place.
it in his face, and he would, like, depending on the level of scalding, you know how hot it was.
Yeah.
So you're like, I'm sorry, that was perfectly hot. Yeah,
Right, right.
This was back when you could get away with that.
Yeah. But give me another.
Give me another one.
We had a writing staff for the first time.
Yes.
We had found Rob Roselle, Scott Martyr,
Who at the time were a writing team, Martin and Roselle.
Martin Roselle, who were
They were.
so funny and brought so much to what the show became.
Wasn't the staff just Martyr, Roselle, and Hornsby, or did we have one?
Was Lisa Parsons?
Oh, we had Lisa Parsons.
Yeah, Lisa.
I think
Lisa Parsons.
I remember Lisa was obsessed with being on Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yeah,
She
watched
really
every
desperately wanted to be on Wheel of Fortune.
right. I feel like maybe she had been part of the pitch of this episode, or I can't remember.
Yeah.
I know she was heavily involved in the gang solves the North Korea situation.
Yes.
Is that season 3 or 4?
3.
It is 3.
Yeah,
I always think of
probably
it as
3.
4, but yeah, you're right. Okay, never mind.
Well, the Martyr and Roselle. I mean, they changed in the best of ways the voice of the show in like so many different ways, which was great. Like I can see their influence in this particular episode, and then it never really changed.
What do you see specifically in this episode that would have been a Martyr Roselle style joke?
Well, oddly enough, they might not even be like as typical as like where we really got to, which was like melting dogs in the in the alley. But even just the scene where I come in to D with the baby, and instantly we morph into like a married couple.
That's
you.
Yeah, I feel like that's very you.
I don't know this for a fact, but that is so totally your style of humor.
I really enjoyed that scene. I enjoyed that scene so much when it came to it, because I was like, oh, this is just very real.
One of my favorite scenes.
Were you guys dating then? Was that weird?
Yeah, you were dating
season
then.
3. Yes, by season 3 we were definitely
weird?
dating.
Is it a glimpse into your home life?
I'll tell you what was weird. I have no problems telling the story because it's been so long ago. When we were in Philadelphia shooting that season, I remember we spent none of us had kids, and all we would do is shoot all day and then go out and get blind drunk. Right. Remember? It was like a party. We had so much fun. And we stayed in some hotel. And so we had just started dating. Like, I mean, not that long before that. Enough to where I was still like, oh, I want to like impress this young woman. And we got, I don't know, again, blind drunk. And the next morning, Guys, can we talk about hats? We're all wearing hats today.
We are, yeah. What are you advertising?
I don't know. It's just a hat.
I'm not advertising. I'm
That was
showing
a dig.
support.
That was a dig.
And me.
Yeah, that was a dig.
Oh yeah.
I'm showing support.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's smart. You should
I
do
have a
it.
question about hats. I've been wearing. I think the listener would find, or the watcher would find this more interesting than the episode. I know I do. I don't know why. Just general conversation about things like hats.
Then the Sunny episode.
Yeah.
The Sunny episode's hilarious.
I'm not commenting
we'll
on
get
that.
into that.
Yeah, I just don't talking about. I've noticed that I'm having the most fun when we're just talking about hats or things of that nature.
Of that nature, yeah.
I like the balance. There's a good balance because I do like when we start going in depth in terms of what we were thinking about why we made a choice that we made. And I think that's interesting for the listener or watcher.
This is why
at
the
home.
show works. I have an idea. You're like, I don't like that. Let's do this other thing. And you're like, I see validity in both of those. Let's just see how it goes. And then we just kind of find a happy medium.
Yeah, but that's what I just said. I said I see validity in both.
Well, hold
not
on a
Glenn.
second.
You
No.
indicated to him.
But that's because we've had this
He's
conversation
giving you-
before, and that's something I've said to you. No, what about hats?
What about get into it.
Okay, so I my whole life I've worn hats, but I've turned the bill the way that yours is, right?
Yeah,
And so I started seeing people wearing the flat bill, and I thought, I don't know if I can pull that off. But I do think it looks cool. I see Charlie he's not wearing one today, really.
He can do it either way.
But he can go either way.
He
goes the flat, and I think it looks pretty cool. Now, I don't know if it looks cool because it seems like we're like 25-year-olds, like trying to look. And is it sad maybe that a 44-year-old's going to wear a flat brim hat? Seems like a young person's game. I'm not sure, but I do like this hat.
Is this is this the question? Are you wondering?
Yeah, I'm wondering, can I pull off? Because I've now noticed that I've gone out and bought a couple of flat bill hats, and I enjoy them.
Can you take your headphones off for a second?
Yeah.
Can I just-
I like the flat build hat.
I think it's a head shape thing. I think I think it looks good.
like
it doesn't.
both.
I can't do it. My head is very oval shaped, so when I do the flat brim thing, the whole thing's too round, so it like presses into my temples. I can't.
Can I see this on you?
Sure.
Let's see.
I'm gonna help Glenn out because he's one-handed.
Caitlin says the same thing, and then she'll put on a hat like that, and it looks cool.
This is okay.
See, that looks cool to me.
No, he can do. You can do
You can
either.
do that. You
do-
can make that
Here's
work.
The thing,
Really?
I think the thing with fashion in general, it's just about the confidence of the choice. You know,
Yeah, are you going all the way
look
in?
at my man Jonah Hill out there.
Yes.
Wearing whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
And by the way, it looks great.
He looks great.
The more sort of out. Yeah, I'm sorry, Glenn. He needs help.
Sorry. Now, Glenn, I think you can wear that flat bill hat all day. In fact, I think it looks really good.
The flat, you like the flat? Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of wish you would taken a picture. Yeah. I don't know. It's never. That actually. Maybe the trick is that maybe I'm making the hat too tight. Because that was a little loose on me, and that felt good. But then that always feels goofy to me because it seems like there's too much room on the
much space
outside, and
inside,
then
You know what I don't have confidence to do, but I think they look great, is like the full-on like Bob Dylan sort of like half cowboy, half fedora hat, you know, like the real hipstery kind of just like
I
strong
noticed
hat
that whatever
choice.
hat choice you make, you pull off. Sunglasses and hats, they all look good on you.
Well, I think it's just the hat itself looks good, right? And so I just chose to wear it. You know what I mean? I think that's what I'm
it's
saying.
also a
It's
head
just like-
shape. It's like a
Yeah, I
head
think
shape
you got a
thing.
head and a good face shape for glasses and sunglasses. I've noticed.
I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of hats and sunglasses that would not look great. you
I'm
know?
noticing that there's a trend that there's a lot of compliments being thrown Charlie's way on this podcast.
Let's get Glenn some compliments over here.
No, that's not what I'm asking for. That's not what I'm asking
That's
for.
true. Like yesterday, you guys were saying that I was very athletic, and I was thinking, you guys are athletic. What's it like?
There's something, I don't know. Yeah, it's just something I've noticed. It's okay.
Okay.
As you were.
I'm a jack of all trades and hats, and
Hats, athletics, sunglasses,
Athletics.
and
dabble on. But you dabble in a million things, a million more than I do. I feel like I get very, very good at like a couple things versus you do.
yeah,
You do a lot of things not that way.
Yes, I do a lot of things not that way.
Average.
Yeah.
Yes, like I'm
Like
kind
a
of
true
okay at some.
dilettante, I think is the term.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know what that word is. I mean,
So
I've heard
I
that
think-
word,
I
but
think that's
if I'm being
somebody-
honest, I don't know what it is.
It's like somebody who has a lot of like passions but isn't serious about any of them.
Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah, dilettante. That sounds
No,
right.
well, I'm very serious in the moment, and then I'm done for the day, and I'm like, great, I'll do that tomorrow, and then I don't. But then I pick it back up 2 weeks later, and I'm like, not that good, but I keep.
I don't think you are that. I think you really learn and get into things and know a lot of stuff. And Glenn, I love your hat.
Thanks, man. Should we talk about this episode?
Sure.
I thought it was pretty fun. I don't remember this being the second episode of the third season. I don't know why, but for some reason this
because
episode
we shot it much later, and
Did
then
we?
I think we liked it and pulled it up or something.
Well, a lot of the scenes were shot in Philly,
Yeah.
for sure.
But that was at the end.
Which was at the end of our shooting
Yeah.
schedule usually. So yeah.
Did you guys notice something we have a thing now, or we had a thing then when we would have like 2 or 3 scenes before the episode started? And we
instead
just
of
started
one-
doing
instead
that,
of
stopped
one
doing that.
single
So
scene.
there's like one, there's like 2 scenes. There's the scene in the bar where we're all arguing like crazy and Charlie screams. Then we go outside.
Yeah.
Right. Then we come back for essentially a third scene after
Back at the bar.
back at the bar where we're actually talking about what we're gonna do. And we then at some point just skip past that, and now we just have somebody come in the cold open and say, okay, the episode's about to start. Because we're gonna go try out for the Eagles. But
Yeah.
you don't know that we're gonna try out for the Eagles for a very long time.
Yeah, for longer
And
than
it's
we would take
unnecessary.
now. Is that arguing? Was that a sort of self-aware meta
Yes.
like answer
Yeah.
to like a criticism of the show? Isn't it funny that we like what, like 8, 10, 15 episodes into doing our show, or like, well, we better comment on what we're
go ahead.
doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, just self-reflecting constantly.
But I do appreciate that we doubled down. So people are like, it's the show where they just yell at each other. It's so annoying. And we were like, you know what? Let's start an episode where we're screaming at the top of our lungs.
Let's acknowledge it and then keep doing
And
it.
lean into
and
it.
really lean into it. Yeah. Yeah.
one little thing I had completely forgotten about this episode, which I enjoyed so much, was the capes.
Oh, yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that when people
Yeah.
were trying wearing capes? And
Yeah.
I had no recollection of the guy with the lunchbox
Yeah, he was
whose
great.
mom
On
made
the
his
bus?
cape, who
Yes.
was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was that guy?
He's an actor.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but
He
I mean,
killed
like,
me.
I don't remember.
He killed me. And when I'm just talking about the things I like. This is not really interesting.
Philip Newby.
Philip
Philip.
Newby. Okay, way
Philip
to go, Philip.
Newby?
Yes,
hilarious.
a nebbish guy, it says, which I'm
Nebbish
assuming
guy.
was that guy.
I remember him being, now look, maybe I'm wrong. Look, can you look it up, Meg? And if not, we'll cut that. I think he was legally blind.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember
Yeah,
him
no,
saying
he's-
like on day one, he was
He
like,
might
oh
have
yeah,
been,
I
yeah.
can't really see. And
Yeah.
we were like, right, well, you should definitely come join us. Like that's such a fun character trait for someone trying
Right.
out for the Eagles.
Yeah, right. To not be able to see.
It was so funny.
Whose mom made him a cape.
Faison Love is hilarious
Amazing.
in the episode.
Do you guys remember Faison? I every time I see Faison in something, I'm like, why is this guy not a massive movie star?
I know
But
why.
yeah, I think I know why too. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if this trend like like sort of carries through his entire acting career. But I'm sure you guys remember this. The very first day that we shot with him, it's not the first scene that we see him in because that was actually in Philly, so that was much later. The very first scene that we shot, I believe, was the scene where he calls us all over and he, gives us the speech right before he introduces Donovan McNabb. And
The speech was so long.
the speech, it was like
a page and a half, and it was really funny.
Yeah, it
I
was-
remember it was really funny. We
Right.
were really looking forward
we
to seeing
spent a
it.
lot of time
yeah.
crafting this really funny like speech that he gives to everybody. And Faison, so the way we do things, and not a lot of shows do this, but what we always do is the very first thing we do is we just read the scene. We get together with all the actors that are in the scene. We've got what's called sides, which is just a small version of the scene in script form, and we just read it first before we block it. Well, so we show up to do this scene. We're outside. We've all got our sides, and we're all standing around. Except I noticed that Faison didn't have his sides, and I was like, "Oh wow, this guy's like this guy's a pro.
He's off book, as they
He's
say in
off
the
book.
industry.
He's
yeah.
already off book, and normally you're not off book by that time. But I was like, man, it's a big
It's
speech.
a big speech. He
It's a
even
big
memorized
speech.
it. Yeah,
He must have really
over the
memorized it.
weekend.
Yeah.
So Monday morning, he took the whole weekend.
Right, exactly. So we show up. He we gather around for rehearsal. Faison's there. We're all looking around, and Savage calls action. He's like, action. Nobody says anything, and And we're like, oh, Faison, that's you. And he's like, oh. And we're like, go. And he's like, wait, he died. And he's like, I don't know. Does anybody have any signs?
He's like, what do you want me to say?
What do you want me to say? So not only did he not,
he didn't read it.
Not right.
He didn't even read it.
Not entirely certain he read the script.
Oh, he definitely didn't read the script. No way.
Showed up to the rehearsal not knowing his lines and didn't even have the sides to prompt his lines.
To be very clear, it's not a rehearsal like a week before you film. The rehearsal is just right before you say action and actually roll the cameras.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So,
you've got maybe 15 minutes between the time you rehearse. Yeah, the 15 minutes they light it, and then you're shooting it.
And adjust your shirt, and then make sure your microphone's in your shirt.
And we're like, oh no, this guy's got a page and a half long speech. He's like, we're screwed. And we were, and he didn't know it, and he just improvised a bunch of stuff, and we cut it, down to that little short thing that's in the thing.
Yes,
that's in the episode.
Yeah. And
God bless him.
And it totally worked. I mean, that's the thing is like, I think that he's so lovable and fun. And he was really cool. It wasn't like he was coming in to be a dick. He was just like, this is the way I do it.
I think there was also a conception that we were an improv show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think people thought we were just like, here's a scenario, let's make up a scene.
Yeah.
Which we were definitely not.
By the way, that would be really funny if he thought that. Did we hire him?
We just made an offer to him.
We just made an offer.
Yeah.
We'd seen the movie Made.
Yeah, an Elf.
An
Elf.
He's
so
and we're like, this
funny.
guy's great.
And it turns out, he's one of the funniest parts of the episode. I mean, it absolutely works. He's just doing his own thing, and we were like, great.
There is oftentimes a thing where like we scripted a whole thing, and you do realize, I don't need any of these words. I just need the essence of what these words are trying to get after, which he sort of embodied, which is just like, I just need the energy,
right,
and the intention, and one sentence can cover this entire speech. By the way, by the time he introduces Donovan McNabb and Jeffrey comes out and does that commercial, I mean, I was crying tears.
Yes,
Jeffrey's
laughing,
amazing. I mean, that's why we've used Jeffrey year after year after year. Across shows, I mean, I've used him on MythiQuest a number of times. We put him in a pilot years ago.
Yeah, we've had him play multiple characters on It's Always Sunny, although always as Jeffrey Owens or this mysterious man who we don't know.
He's also played Tiger Woods.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's played Don,
right,
Don
but it's always the same actor who presumably is Jeffrey Owens, although he never fesses up to that either, because he never fesses up to actually having been. What was his name? Elvin on the Cosby Show. Yeah. But one other thing I wanted to bring up about Faison, I'm sure you guys remember that. No, of course you do, because we've joked about it many times. The man could not say the words Donovan McNabb.
Yeah. Donna John the Crab.
Dottie and the Crab.
Donnie and the Crab.
Yeah.
Donnie and the Crab. Donovan.
No, you're not a big football fan, I think, Faison.
Well, I guess not. Yeah, I guess not. But just, by the way, that is a difficult name to say. Donovan McNabb. I'm having a hard time saying it.
Not that hard.
I'm on pain medication, though, so I have an excuse. But
it's just a name.
Donovan McNabb.
Yeah. Slow it down if you need to. But he would just, if you watch the episode, please watch the episode and watch how he pronounces it, because he never got it right.
We could go back and get the outtakes. It might be worth like putting that out there, because I don't think we put it on like a reel or whatever. He kept calling him Donnie John McCrab.
Donnie John McCrab. Donovan. I think in the episode he calls him Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb.
We used the best
it's just
one.
A bunch of M's.
We got the best one. Yeah.
The one that was the closest. Now, a professional.
It doesn't matter. It's still so funny.
It just doesn't matter. It's kind of better that he doesn't say the real name, because then it's almost implied that he's like not legally allowed to call this man Donovan McNabb because he's not Donovan McNabb.
Right.
So he's got to dance around it.
Yeah.
One thing we do in this episode that we then go on to do a number of times, and we've kind of gotten away from it, I think probably in a good way, because it dates the episode in a weird way, where we are referencing like popular culture, like movies that had come out.
Yeah, with Invincible.
Talking about Invincible.
Yeah.
And yet, like, the way that movies kind of come and go, nobody knows that movie anymore. But since the show's continued on, people might go back and watch these episodes, and you have no idea what we're really talking about.
It's pretty funny that we're talking about it as the New Kids on the Block movie.
Yes, I do like that. I do like that. And not only do we refer to it as that, but Faison refers to it.
Yeah.
Because of the New Kids on the Block movie. Yeah. That's right. That's why they're having to do it. Because
you
they're
don't
getting
wanna
so
do it.
many. Yeah.
They got badgered into it.
because that was the plot of the movie, right? Like they had a tryout and then.
Was that based on, that was based on a real thing,
Yeah,
right? Now,
yeah, Vince
I
Papale.
have to admit, I actually never saw that movie.
Yeah.
I did not even when we were writing the episode, I didn't even watch it. I should have. I just didn't.
It's like it's Rocky in a football.
But it was based on a real story?
Yeah.
Okay, now so do you know the story?
I do, but the guy Vince Papale was a player, was like a track star. So it wasn't like some like rando guy from the neighborhood. He was just older, and then it turns out he was like, can you believe it? He was 31 years old.
But I mean, did the Eagles hold a tryout?
Yeah, they do that.
Oh, they do that?
Yeah, every NFL team still continues to do a version of that.
Did just fucking randos
yeah, the whole like
just show up?
open tryouts. Yeah,
They're like, just
real.
in case, there's a farm somewhere and there's a
Right.
dude working in the barn and
Right.
he's 7'7", 380, and he's the fastest runner in the world. And they're just hoping that
Yeah.
guy shows up.
He was just too stupid to realize that football existed because he was kept.
Well,
in
he
a
had
box.
he had a strict daddy, right? And
And
it was
he
like,
was
I know
chained
you can
up.
play football, but we need you here on the farm. And then
What's football, Daddy?
enough about football. His daddy played football, but he didn't make the Cowboys, and he was heartbroken. And he's like, and then when the son makes the team, he was just like, I just didn't want you to go through the heartbreak, son. But then the guy makes the team, but then his heart explodes at 28 years old.
Yeah, because he has thyroid problem. Right, because he's 7'7". I mean,
Yeah.
didn't we just establish that? I'm going along with what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's got a thyroid issue. Vincent Papalius?
Vince Papale.
Papalia.
Papale or
Oh no, I was
something like
mixing up
Do
with
you
Lucas.
remember the refrigerator Perry?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
He played for the Bears, but then also the Eagles.
Did he play for the Eagles?
Yes.
I remember him on the Bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just so big he could just run over everyone. I remember the
He scored like a huge touchdown that one
In the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
right?
the
yeah.
Patriots versus the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And the Pats lost like it was like 60-3 or something.
46-10 or something like that.
Oh Lord.
No, it was like 60-3. Look up what that was. What year was that?
It was a beatdown.
Patriots Bears Super Bowl.
1986, 1985.
1986.
85 season, 86.
85,
Wow.
86.
Super Bowl.
Wow. I mean, look.
46-10.
46-10.
46-10.
I have a weird thing for
I
that.
feel like that's what
I
you
remember
said.
like football scores. And
I feel like
things.
that's exactly what you said.
I dramatized it.
You sure did.
Well, because it was
60-3.
It was a beatdown. I think that it was
Yeah.
actually worse than the score.
Yeah.
Like I think they kind of let him score at the end. They just didn't care.
I just gave up. Ouch.
Yeah.
You know what we gave up on? Completely forgot about the character of Doyle McPoyle.
Yeah.
I did not remember there was a Doyle McPoyle.
Yeah, there's a door.
Maybe he died from that bullet wound.
I was laughing so hard at you laughing because this is all happening in the moment where they're just walking out of the RV and you're commenting on each one of them as they
Right.
come down but you're seeing them for the first time in real life.
Oh, no, that was all- yeah, that was all
And so Charlie's like
improvised.
literally laughing as he's doing it, but it just works.
It works as the character, yeah.
Yeah.
You're out here.
Yeah,
You're in the world.
you're in the world.
Oh,
That's
good.
the sun.
Yeah. Oh, good. You brought your fife.
What is that a jar of?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is that a jar of? But once again, the props department doing like an amazing job of like putting together a group of weird things and then you not seeing them until you're seeing them for the first time.
Even just the coverage of that, though, I kind of was like, oh, right, we really stopped down to see all those people come out.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we wouldn't do now, but maybe we would. I don't know.
Did we play the Hawaiian, the McPoyle Hawaiian theme song?
Yeah.
Every time, pretty much every time we see the McPoyles, we play this like Hawaiian Cowboy.
Country. Yeah, Hawaiian Cowboy.
Is that the name of the song? Hawaiian Cowboy? I feel like it was something
maybe
like that.
it was just like, it was there was this library of cheap music that we could use, and it was probably listed as Hawaiian Cowboy or something like that.
I feel like it was.
Let's talk about that for a second because our music, which we love and have been using from day one, we've never had the money to license it and keep it ours, like to write music and then to have it be like owned by the show. So there's a company that owns this library and they just license it out to anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
So like there was a year where the Madden football game, the Sunny theme was the Madden theme. And right now on Minecraft, I hear Sunny music in the background of my house. I'm like, what's going on? Like my kids watching Sunny. It's on Minecraft videos. They're using Sunny music on Minecraft videos.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and
It's a very heavily used catalog.
it's in commercial. You hear in commercials all the time.
Yeah. It used to upset me because I'd be like, oh man, dang it. Why didn't we just like have a theme song that was just ours, you know? But I think maybe it ended up working in our favor because like every time those songs play, people think of Sunny.
Eventually, yeah. Eventually that happened in the
Like
beginning.
free advertising.
It's like free advertising.
If there's an association with the show.
Yeah.
But like Madden is way bigger than Sunny. So people would be like,
Steve Madden, like the purse company? Like, what are you talking about?
The shoe guy?
What are you talking about?
No, you're absolutely right. That game's way bigger than Sunny.
yeah.
for
So
sure.
people will be like, oh, that's the music. I don't know. But it was always funny to me that look around. All the shows that you watch and know, you're like, oh no, they didn't use that theme song on a Tide commercial.
No.
Ours is the only one.
Yeah.
The only one where they're like, oh, Cheers. Well, literally, they now are using the Cheers song on a commercial.
what did I see that
But
on?
that must have cost them a fortune.
Seriously.
To pay Paramount. A fortune.
Who wrote that theme song? Who
The
wrote
Cheers
the theme
one?
song to Cheers? It's a good theme song.
It's a
The Golden Girls
great-
one is
Really-
amazing.
It's incredible.
And
Yeah,
that
the Golden
guy was like, he was just like a pop artist.
Yeah. And his version of it is strange. Like the woman singing it is much a
Thank you
cooler
for
version.
being a friend.
Gary Portnoy
Gary Portnoy is Cheers.
is Cheers.
Is he also Golden Girls? He might be. It might be the same guy, or maybe it's Andrew Young or something.
I don't think so.
It's
Wait,
some
so-
pop guy, yeah.
so
Like
you're saying the guy who did the Golden Girls theme song, he has a version of that
his
song
version
that
of that
sounds
song
totally
is
different?
not. Yeah, well, it's
What's
him
the name of the
singing it.
song?
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being.
Andrew Gold.
Andrew
Yeah.
Gold.
It's
It's in his name.
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Okay.
It took him about an hour to write.
yeah.
It always does. It always does. Now
That was the cocaine.
I'm gonna get out
working.
of this because I know I've told you guys this story before, but there was a time where I sat next to the drummer for the band Survivor on a flight, right? And I got to chatting with this guy, super nice guy, looked like one of those guys who was like, oh, you're still rocking like the '80s hair band look, but you're like in your late 50s, you know, but whatever. Anyway, the guy was super nice, and he actually told me the story of how the band Survivor wrote the song "Eye of the Tiger" for Rocky 3, I believe it
Yeah,
was.
3.
Yeah,
Club of
yeah.
Nine.
So Stallone had actually called the lead singer of Survivor and left him a voicemail, and he was like, you know, beep. Hey, this is Sly Stallone, and I really like your music, and I'd love for you to write the theme song to the new Rocky movie that I'm doing, right? So this guy gets the message, gets the voicemail, and he's like, that's my buddy, like, fucking with me, you know what I mean? So he pays no attention to it. Gets a call, gets another voicemail like a couple weeks later. Like, hey, what's going on? You know, it's Sly Stallone. I really want to use, you know.
Yes and no. I feel like this collaboration could be a real knockout.
So, but again, he just thinks it's like you know, his friends like fucking with him, so he doesn't call the guy back. Then he gets a call from his agent. His agent's like, dude, what are you doing? You know, or his booking agent or manager or whoever. He's like, Sly Stallone is like trying to get in touch with you. He wants you guys to write the new theme song. And he's like, oh shit, that's real. So then he gets on the phone with Stallone. Stallone's like, you know, basically tells him, I need a theme song for Rocky 3. I think you guys are perfect for it. I'd like for you guys to write one, but here's what I need. I need you to write 2 songs because, you know, what if I like one over the other? I need you to write 2 songs. We'll pay you to write 2 songs. So these guys get in the studio. They spend about 2 weeks crafting the most epic song ever, right? And then they get to the very end of it. They realize it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and they've got to turn in both songs the next day to Sly Stallone. And listen, when you tell Sly Stallone you're hitting a deadline, you better hit it because Sly's going to come after you. You know what I mean? With the Expendables. So they realize, they're like, oh shit, we have to write like a second song. They're like, oh, we'll just bang something out real quick. And over the course of the next like hour or so, they just like wrote Eye of the Tiger and just did Eye of the Tiger in like an hour or like 2 hours. And they're like, all right, let's go to bed. That's at least we'll give him 2, but clearly the other one is better. He played, and of course, the rest of that is they played both the songs and Sly loved Eye of the Tiger. And they were like, what? We were just fucking around. Like that was, And then the other song he ended up using, I believe, in the movie Fist.
Fist?
Yeah, he did a movie called Fist.
He
did? Yeah, I think
Sly?
so. Fist? I think so. Yeah.
Man likes the theme.
Yeah.
What was
Fist.
that about?
I'm nervous.
Yeah,
Typing
don't,
in fist.
Meg, don't Google that. Because
no,
this
it
is
is a
all
film.
work. This is all work.
It's an acronym, FIST.
Yeah, it was an acronym.
Yeah, a
Right.
neo-noir crime drama. Weird.
Yeah, so I believe he used that other Survivor song in the movie Fist.
I don't know what song that was.
I don't know, actually. I don't know. Anyway, the guy from Survivor was very nice, the drummer. I liked him. He told some good stories. That's the only one I remember.
Do you want to tell one of the good ones?
Listen, man.
He's on a lot of pain pills.
Come on, man.
I'm on a lot of pain pills right now. I'm not thinking straight.
Yeah. What do
okay?
you got?
What do you got? Tell us a good story. I am curious to know, like, if you guys. I know you've done acid before, right? Do you not want to talk about this?
No, yeah.
Okay. Have you done acid?
Yes.
You did acid?
Uh-huh.
When did you do acid? And what happened?
Right after high school.
Just once? Or have
Twice.
You did it. You've done it twice.
Yeah.
Okay. What were the circumstances, and do you have any funny stories surrounding that? Because
Yeah.
it's a fun drug.
No. What was the name of the? Why am I blanking on the name of the music series that was big when we were? I keep thinking Lollapalooza.
Oh yeah, music series.
Well, my mind went to
Christ.
Coachella and I couldn't get it out of my head. But yeah, Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
I did some acid with Lollapalooza.
Yeah. Is that fun?
No.
What year?
No. The 1996.
96.
Could have been.
Okay.
It was the Beastie Boys.
No, that was
Hole.
94.
Oh, so I was in high school.
That was 94 because I was at that Lollapalooza. Probably not the same one. I went to the one in Atlanta.
But yeah, I
Assuming
don't
weren't.
think you came to Philly.
No.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's just not for me.
No, it's not your thing.
I might maybe try it again later when my kids are older and I can get in. Like, I want to break through the matrix and see what's on the other side, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I think I want to go on a guided one at this point, right? Like,
I want to see the destruction of my ego before my very eyes.
Yes.
I don't want to just take like 3 tabs of acid and drink 16 Coors Lights and then throw up.
Well, you were also probably like you're fighting it. You know what I mean? Like when it kicks in, you gotta lean into it. When you start
Right.
fighting it, that's when the fear.
So how's everybody feeling? It's super early for you guys, not so much for me.
It's super early for us. I believe Meg's in the middle of the afternoon. Is that right, Meg? Is that why it looks
I've
like
already had lunch and 2 glasses of champagne, guys. I'm feeling great.
Wow. Took a couple glasses of champagne. Huh? How's that jet lag doing? Are you already like adjusted? It takes me about 2-3 weeks to get adjusted when I go to Europe.
No,
I swear to God,
feel
I am a
good.
mess.
It's hard.
I'm still not adjusted to Toronto, and I've been here for almost 3 weeks.
What? That's 3 hours.
Nah, that's a mental thing.
I'm exaggerating.
Yeah. Rob, is the sun up at your house? Because like the sun's like just coming up in my house, and I gotta have this like super harsh overhead lighting. You look well lit.
I've been doing Zoom since 2020, so I have lighting set up. Well, I mean, it's not really. It's just a light.
Because you're a fucking bitch, dude.
I mean, it's just a light.
You got a lighting set up.
It's a light.
Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Beauty ring lights.
Nice.
Yeah, good for you, huh?
Nice.
I mean, is it 20? What year is it? We're 2 years into this fucking thing. Haven't you guys been doing Zooms, recorded Zooms for years?
Buddy, not only have I been doing all these recorded Zooms and stuff, but I've done enough stuff now where anytime I have to shoot something or film something on my laptop, they just send me equipment
Wait, so you got a ring light going too, Glenn?
Not right now. No, I'm because I'm not at my house. But I mean, at my house, I've got all kinds of like podcasting and like, filming things on my computer equipment that people have sent me, and then nobody ever comes to pick it up.
It's good to have because your lighting looks good.
I think I feel like I look a little blasted out. I look blasted out. Maybe I can turn it down a
I
little
don't
bit.
think so. I don't think, you know what? See, I get shadowy because it's over the overhead light. Nobody cares.
Yeah, the listener is just definitely not having fun with this. Cut that.
What's this episode gonna be? We got something fun.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here,
Yeah.
man? You got a wild idea?
Yeah, so I thought I'd make a little game for you guys to play because we're all spread out. Well, you certainly are in many different places. Well, now, Charlie, you're back in LA, so I guess just Glenn's apart. But I wanted to play a little version of the Newlywed Game for you guys so that you could remember that despite being far apart, you're actually very close because of your 20 plus years of friendship.
You know what? We're far apart, but they're always in my heart.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Hey, fuck you guys. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah. All right.
That's what's in my heart.
Cool.
That's what's in my heart. Yeah.
So the way this is going to work is that I'm going to ask you guys questions about each other, and there'll be 3 sections: one for Rob, Charlie, and Glenn. Actually 4, because then I'm going to have a special lightning round at the end. And basically, you're going to write your answers on these dry erase boards that you should have in front of you, and we're going to take points and see who wins, who knows the most about their fellow friends.
I mean, I can already tell you right now who's going to win this game. It's definitely going to be Rob.
I don't think so. We've already brought this up that Charlie keeps thinking that his memory is terrible, and then he keeps remembering every single thing that we pose to him. So I think we're going to be
it's true.
surprised.
I do feel like I got a chance, but I also feel like, Rob, you have more of a mind that like studies a person. You know what I mean? Like where like you'll pick up on a detail about me.
I'm interested in you guys more than you're interested in me. Is what you're saying.
A little too interested,
yeah.
Robbie. A little too interested, pal.
With your ring lights and your interest.
With your ring lights and okay, take it easy. Dial it down a notch, will you?
So if I'm doing a section about Rob and your answers agree with what Rob has written down, then you get a point. But Rob, if you like either of their answers better than the one you've written down, you can choose to award them half a point.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
Okay,
they're
I
kind of
understand.
subjective answers. So
Right.
we'll see.
Right. So this isn't like background or factual. These are all what I think they're gonna see. I get this. So
Some-
you,
some of it
I
is,
don't.
but
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
have you never seen the Newlywed Game?
It's been a very long time since I've seen that game, and I have to admit I was getting hot because I turned the heat on this morning because it was cold, and all I could think about was like, should I get up? Do I get up and turn the heat off right in the middle of the podcast? Like, do I do that? And then I realized I missed your entire explanation, and I haven't seen the Newlywed Game since I was
Here's the
6
thing
years
with
old.
games. I mean, you pick up like a pack of cards or whatever. Maybe some people have a mind that they can sit and look at all those instructions and be like, I get it. Let's go. I'm like, let's just play around. And
Yeah,
after
you guys will
do,
pick it
like,
out.
one round, you're like, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah,
the point
but
is,
just-
these are subjective. This is not like trivia or memory based. This is all more about how do I believe you're gonna feel about something and vice versa.
Yeah,
Oh,
a
good.
lot of
Okay.
times.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more EQ than it is IQ, right, Meg?
Yes, that's correct.
EQ,
What's EQ?
Don't worry about it. Look it up.
your emotional.
Quotient? I don't know what
quotient?
Q means.
That tells you a lot about my IQ.
It's your egg quotient.
I didn't even know the Q.
It's your egg quotient. How many
It's your egg
eggs? you had.
quotient.
My egg quotient. My egg quotient is excellent. Let's go.
Oh, with the dad jokes, you.
Buddy, it's 6. You've been messing with heat. Charlie and I just woke up. It's 6 o'clock in
right.
the morning.
By the way, it's shots on goal, pal. I got about fucking 8 jokes in this podcast already. All right, let's get going. Let's warm up, buddy, because the audience wants to laugh, Glenn. Okay, they don't want just to hear us complain about our fucking jet lag.
And how warm it is in our gorgeous hotel room.
It's so warm. It's too warm in here, guys.
play
Megan,
it.
Megan,
Let's
get
play it.
this game on the rails.
Okay, well, we'll start with Glenn since he doesn't know what's going on. That'll make it the easiest. The first question is, what makes Glenn the most angry?
Just in general?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
I got it.
I know. Let's wait. Okay, hold on.
Charlie's
I'm ready to rock.
See, that's amazing. How there's so much.
There's so much, but
But you just went for one.
Rob, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Okay, Charlie, show us your answer.
Okay, I wrote chewing loud.
Oh yeah.
Okay, chewing
Okay.
loud.
Chewing loud. Loud chewers, smacky foods.
I see that. I hear that. But I'll say that that's just one thing. I think Glenn looks when things just don't work. When things that are supposed to work.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Just
things that are
don't
supposed to work don't work. Yeah, that's a big one for it.
Like just stuff, technology thing, just stuff. They're not working. There's an injustice to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Glenn?
listen, guys. I mean, you're totally both of you. It's not what I wrote, but it's 100%. You're 100% correct in that those things make me angry. The difficult thing I think about this is that so many things make me angry. So I wrote down a sort of a broader category, which would encompass what you wrote, Charlie.
Can I have a 1 second guess? I won't write it, but just to say.
Yes.
Did you write the word life?
Wait, I think I know what you did. I think I know what you did.
Yeah, go for it.
You wrote having to do with people not giving a shit. There's an injustice about people not caring.
Big one. That's a big one.
You didn't say it the way I said it, but I think what you're saying is I think what you mean is what I meant when I wrote what I wrote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what'd you write?
People's lack of awareness.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Charlie should get a point for that.
I get the point for the loud chewing?
I think so.
It's up to Glenn.
Well,
like what makes him more crazy? The thing's not working or someone smacking their food while eating? It's a tough one because they're both enraging.
They're both infuriating. I will say that Charlie's answer is is a more specific version of what I wrote, right? So people's lack of awareness of, I was going to write a whole thing, but I was like, I don't think it's supposed to be this long.
Oh, that's true. People's lack of awareness and they're smacking their food is the same thing where the technology has nothing to do with people. That's technology's lack of awareness of what you want it to do.
Of what I need it to do. Yes. My full answer would have been people's lack of awareness of how their actions affect other people. That's the thing that makes me the most angry. That's the broad category of like the thing that makes me the most angry. And it is.
It seems like a half a point to Charlie seems very fair.
Oh, a half a point. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we can do. Hey, we can do whatever we
That's
want.
fine.
I
or
think
even
that sounds
no
good.
point is fine. I don't.
No, I like half a point. I think that's.
I'm going to award Charlie half a point for that then.
That's good.
The next question is, Glenn says 90% of the time he eats healthy and 10% of the time he eats whatever the fuck he wants. It's a 10% day. So what is Glenn eating?
Okay. I have a thought.
This was a tough one even for me, honestly.
All right. This time, Rob, why don't you go first?
This is a tough one. Yeah, this is a tough one
because the man likes food.
The man eats food. The man does. You eat what you want, generally, what I see. So I think if you're going to splurge, what I've seen you do in the past is to just get a straight, because you don't eat as much red meat. You don't eat red meat. You went for a long period of not eating red meat for a while. I think if you splurge, you're going to get just a hamburger and French fries.
Ooh, this is really interesting. This is really interesting. You want to know what I wrote, Rob? A burger with French fries, but never a Coke. Never a soda. Never a soda. Just for one little specific. So he's going to get the burger with fries. He's not going to drink a cup of sugar on top.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think you guys should both get a point for this because that's what I was literally writing when I scratched it out. And I actually think that your answer is more right than mine.
You overthought it. You overthought it.
I overthought
it. Okay.
Yeah, because mine, I think mine is a little bit more. It's like this is I gravitate towards this, but like if I'm really going for it, and that was the question, that's exactly right. I would be like a cheeseburger with the works, and some fries. So, and you're right, and no soda. And I'm almost tempted to give Charlie an extra half a point there for the no soda thing. By the way, this is what I wrote. I wrote a turkey sandwich with extra mayo and fries. But that just seems too healthy. I mean, even the extra mayo kind of puts it over the top. But I think you guys are right. All right, burger and fries. All right, let's move on. Jesus Christ.
I'll award a point for both of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the next question is, Glenn is going to star in Guns Actually, a big budget action movie about a man whose father is tragically murdered, causing him to go on an epic rampage. What actor is Glenn casting to play his father?
Done and done. Got it.
Meaning that he has a choice, or this is like a realistic
No, he has the choice of who is going to play his father. The choice of all actors. Yes, all actors.
Now, what is the tone of this movie? Is it an action comedy? Is it, or just a straight
No, it's a straight action Get Carter type of thing. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
And your father is has to be an action actor?
No, because he dies at the beginning of the movie, so he's not needing to do a lot of action.
So it's just a great actor.
Okay.
Oh, I'm tempted to do a joke here, but I also want the point.
Yeah. Why don't you put the joke at the bottom?
The joke he's going to put is himself aged up.
No, it wasn't, but I wish that was.
Oh God. Yeah. Me aged up. Well, that's right. That would
yes, I know.
I'd be great.
All right. Charlie, why don't you show us first?
Okay. I wrote, he's going to go with Gary Oldman. Mm-hmm. Gary Oldman is, who's available. But if you want accuracy, it's got to be Lindsey Buckingham.
Okay, that's just a grand slam. I mean, that's just a grand slam.
If we're going purely on looks.
I forgot about that. Just the other day, we were talking on the podcast about doppelgangers, and I forgot that's one that I get all the time.
It's funny. I see these pictures of him now, and he does. It's more like he has a Dennis Reynolds vibe than he has a Glenn vibe. You know what I mean? Something about it.
His hair is always high.
Okay, this is how much
his hair is very high. It's never
how
small.
much Charlie and I know and love Glenn. I said the same thing. An aged up Gary Oldman because he can do anything and be any age.
Well, you guys, this was a tough one. Amazing that you both wrote Gary Oldman, one of my favorite actors of all time. I did not even think of Gary Oldman. I still stand by my actual choice.
Brendan Gleeson? No, doesn't make sense.
No, it's not like he's even one of my favorite actors, although he is a phenomenal actor and I absolutely love him in things. I don't know why. This is who I want. Christopher Walken.
Your brain sometimes is
just
so
wrong.
Interesting.
It's just wrong.
It's terrible casting.
Yeah, and you're wrong. It's actually not the answer. The answer is Gary Oldman. I believe we know you better.
Yeah, you don't know your own mind.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think that
my son, who comes in the room.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking of
everyone does Walken. No one wants to hear a Walken.
If you guys see Christopher Walken in
Glenn, my boy.
You're wrong.
How'd you know it was me? I'm your dad. Sure.
Okay, sorry. You guys do know me very well. Gary Oldman's one of my favorite actors. I mean, again, it's not what I wrote, but I don't know how you ever would have gotten.
Why did you pick Christopher Walken?
I don't know. For some reason, his performance in Seven.
He's overthinking it,
He was
Charlie.
the first person he was the first fucking person that popped
for lunch.
He was the first fucking person that popped into my head, and I wrote it down. That's not overthinking it.
No points awarded.
I was thinking of his performance in Seven Psychopaths, which is just so phenomenal, so good. Have you guys seen that movie? Please tell me you've seen Seven Psychopaths.
Yeah, I watched it with you years ago.
Oh God, it's so good.
Or maybe I've seen it. I don't know.
It's so good. It's one of those movies you can watch 15,000 times. It's fantastic. Watch it again if you haven't seen it.
Okay, here's a question that's not subjective. What was Glenn's starter car, as in his first car he ever had?
That's actual trivia.
In real life?
Yes, in real life. What was his starter car?
Glenn, this is just a question. Would this have been in high school, or was your first car since we've known you?
I think you're talking about my very first car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a car and then you had another car. The car that you brought out here was different than your very first car.
Yeah, you guys never met my first car, but
No, but I think I think I know what it is.
Okay.
Let's start with Rob on this one.
I believe your first car when you were in high school was a Volvo. It was a Volvo.
Wow.
do you happen
Which
to
is
remember
different
what
than the one you
year?
came out.
I mean, that's very difficult, but it just for extra points, maybe if you can get the year.
The year of the Volvo?
It was an 85. I'm jumping in for a point here. It was an 85 Volvo.
I think it was.
It was my dad's. It's the first car my dad ever bought for himself. That's a clue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. A 76 Volvo.
I'm going to say it's a 1981 Volvo.
Wow, you guys think it took my dad that long to buy a car? Okay,
I said
1981.
76. I said 76. I'll just let
dad was
you
in
know.
the
I wrote a 1999 Acura Legend.
Okay, that's great. That's a great guess because
Very
that's the
good
car.
answer.
Yeah, that's
Very
that's a
good
later
answer.
Yeah.
It was a
Thank you
19.
very much.
That was the car that I got my senior. That I was able to split with my parents my senior year of high school. It was a 1990 Acura Legend, but very good.
I got the
Pretty
decade.
damn good. Pretty damn good.
However, Rob gets the point. It is a Volvo. It was a 1966 Volvo, pearl white. His nickname was Pearl
Her name
Jam,
was Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam, that's cute.
just because it was pearl white. It's cool. I love that car,
Okay.
man. It was so great. We kept it for a long time. I wish we still had it. I wish I could restore it.
Well done. Rob, did you remember that he had discussed having a Volvo at one point in time in his life?
yes.
Okay. Well, then, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just a guess. That was you remembering.
Yes.
I'm going to give a point to Rob on that one. If Glenn had to speak in a different accent for the rest of his life, which accent would he pick?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I feel like Glenn's going to have an interesting answer here, which is not
Which is not accurate.
what we're expecting.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, Charlie, you want to go first?
Well, my first, if I just went off my first instinct, it would have been like a British accent, but I switched it because I thought, he's going to get tired of people being tired of that accent and thinking that he's hoity-toity. He's going to want to sometimes just be able to go home and just fit in. And I went with a Southern accent. He's just going to slide into a comfy Southern accent just for peace of mind.
I'm going to say Glenn. Now, if I want Glenn to think about it for a second, I think he would want to do, because I've heard him do this many times, and it's very funny. And I believe he would want to do a German accent.
What?
A German accent, yeah.
Rob, I like your thinking because sometimes Glenn comes out with an answer where you're like, huh?
Yeah, he was going along the lines of my overthinking it and not giving the most obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
You
thinking
threw us
like
with a lot of your answers, so we had to
Jan,
kind of like
Jan in the glory hole. I remember you getting really into that. And he was just sort of doing a nondescript European accent.
Well, and I'm a big fan of that, by the way. Just like a European accent. It's just like kind of all of it.
I'm guessing though you wrote a British accent because of just the beauty of the sound and the flow, and it feels comfortable to do. And I'm guessing you went
British accent.
I have an affinity for it because I lived there as a kid and I had a British accent as a little kid for a short period of time, and I just love it there. I love it.
Well, that's the Glenn round.
We are supported by Shopify. Hey, you guys ever think about starting a small business together?
Oh, you're talking about a little side hustle?
What do you have in mind?
I don't know, maybe something in retail or e-commerce, artisan scented candles, macrame wall art.
I don't know. That whole, it all sounds pretty complicated, right? Like how are we going to compete with big macrame, right? Well, where are we going to get in?
The big macrame industry is that's a tight
You
community.
can't get a
to
foothold
into.
in, right?
How do you even start? Where did we start?
Well, I'll tell you what, Shopify gives entrepreneurs like ourselves the resources once reserved for only big businesses.
Glenn, I'm going to need you to go on about this a little bit.
Okay, so all right, I will. So upstarts, startups, and established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and gain insights as they grow with detailed reporting of conversion rates, profit margins, and beyond.
Now that's a lot of big words you just said there, Glenn.
Sorry, I'm a smart.
It's like
It's all.
we're going to fly.
It's the
Again, one at a time. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Sunny.
ZipRecruiter
Shade.
out of you and making your whole thing cooler.
The underwear actually does keep me 7 degrees cooler than cotton.
That is oddly specific.
Wow. Well, you want to be
7
cool. You don't want to be overheated.
I need the stretch.
Oh,
Just you, pal.
order.
That's right. Get 20% off right now if you go to TommyJohn.com/Sunny.
TommyJohn.com/Sunny. The /Sunny is very important. TommyJohn.com/Sunny. Otherwise, Meg does not eat. See site for details.
All right, here we go. First question for Charlie. Charlie gets to play a round of golf with any famous person, living or dead. Who does he choose?
Oh,
Got it.
I'm just going to keep that one simple. I'm not going to go nothing crazy here.
I mean, I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. Not a clue.
Playing golf with somebody.
Okay, Rob's written Tiger Woods as his answer. Glenn, do you want to?
I mean, I thought Glenn already
guess.
conceded.
Yeah, conceited. Just give me 1 second here. Hold on. No, that's God damn it. I'm overthinking it. I don't know. I concede.
Okay, Glenn passes.
It was, in fact, Tiger Woods. I mean, if you're going to get a round of golf with anybody,
Point
you're
for
going to
Rob.
play with the person who is arguably the best player ever to play the game.
Okay,
Good answer, Rob.
good answer, Rob.
Well, you guys play golf together.
I know you very well. I know you.
I know. Yeah, that's that's true. We golf together, and Glenn doesn't golf as much. So
Okay, here's one that's not subjective. How old was Charlie when he had his first kiss?
oh shit. Wait, I got to think of that.
Wait. How could you not know? But Megan knows.
Because it's right on the cusp of two ages. But I
think I'm okay.
okay. Wait, I think I got it.
You can write down 2 ages to give them more of a chance.
No.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's this one.
Okay.
I wrote down two ages.
Glenn, you want to go first? It says 14.
14.
I know that's late, but Charlie just strikes me as a little bit of a late bloomer. Not that he couldn't have been kissed, but
Good instincts.
but just that you're the type of person to not go for the kiss unless you're absolutely sure. And I think that takes
That's a big
little
part
bit
of it.
And because of that, I'm going to go later. Not because he didn't have the opportunity, but because he's been very clear
personality.
that he would never go for the kiss unless he knew it was a definite, which is a hard thing to do, 15 or younger. So I believe he was 16 on the cusp of 17.
I was tempted to do that. I was tempted to go there, and I was like, God, that's almost insulting.
I believe, well, don't worry about that, pal, because I believe it was actually 17 or I might have even been 18. It was not until my senior year of high school.
My goodness.
I remember you were.
I know. I was frustrated about it, believe me.
Now, was this your first kiss in general, or like your first like kiss?
Both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think it was definitely my senior year, so I can't remember if I was 17 or I might have been 18, which was adding to the humiliation. But to my credit, though, my high school throughout my freshman and sophomore and most of my junior year was an all-boys school, so it made it even harder.
Why can't you kiss boys?
You can, but I didn't want to. So that was
that
was a big part
held
of
you
it.
back.
Yeah.
That held you back.
Not wanting to
not
is what
wanting
made you not do it, huh?
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is the DJ.
Do I get
at
a
the
half
local,
a point for that?
I think that's.
Well, I
Charlie,
said
you wanna
16
work?
on the cusp of 17. He said 17 on the cusp of 18.
On the cusp of 17. I think at least a half point to Rob.
Okay.
I did
a
say
half
17.
point for
right?
Rob.
Megan, did you know?
I didn't know. No.
Oh, okay.
But this is how the newlywed game works: is they don't know
yeah.
the answers. You
Right, they don't
provide
know.
the
They're just
answers.
asking questions. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I could ask you guys, where's your favorite place to make whoopee? Because that's pretty
That's
much
always
the
the big
question
one.
they
Yeah,
ask.
that was the big one.
What's whoopee? Is that a sandwich?
I believe it's sexual intercourse.
I believe she's a view on the host.
Yeah.
No, she's a host on the view.
You on the host? I was like, wait, what?
She's a view on the host. What the fuck am I talking about?
How about this one? Charlie is having a midlife crisis. What does he buy for himself?
Oh, I know exactly what this is. I know this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I got this one.
Glenn, you wanna show first?
A classic car.
Okay.
Classic sports car.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I almost wrote sports car. Yeah.
Yeah, I called it vintage instead of classic, but a vintage car, maybe I'm thinking like a 60s Ferrari convertible because it's a crisis. I'm spending too much money, right? I'm like overspending. It's like a $2 million car or something.
Okay, 1 point each, guys. Great job.
Yeah. I've
Okay.
been trying to have midlife crisis for a while now.
You sure have. You've been
pull the
talking
trigger
about
on it.
having a midlife crisis in that regard for quite a bit.
I'm gonna get a good vintage car.
Pull the trigger on that. You got to pull the trigger on that midlife crisis, man.
What is Charlie the most proud of? And I'm going to say that his wife and child are exempt from this.
Oh. I'm not sure I know the answer to that.
I know the answer.
I think I know the answer. I think I'm right.
Okay, Rob, you want to go
on-
first?
on this one, Robbie?
Sonny.
Sunny. Okay. Glenn?
Always sunny.
Always Sunny. Okay. Charlie?
Horrible bosses. Sunny babies. Sunny.
Oh, great job,
Sonny,
guys.
everybody.
Hey, I'm not going to be proud. Would that have been the same for you guys?
100%.
100%, without a doubt.
That's nice.
Unquestionably.
Sunny's the best. Everything else is great, but Sunny's the best, baby.
It's just very, very special.
Okay, one more, and then I think that makes us even to the amount we did for Glenn.
I'm easy. These guys know me. It's like there's no mystery.
What movie would Charlie most like to have written and starred in? And this could be from any era.
Okay.
This is pretty easy too.
I wouldn't say that this was easy, but it's the first thing that popped into my mind.
Okay.
And I don't think you'll say I'm wrong, Charlie, but you might have one that's.
No,
I think this is right.
I went easy first instinct. I mean, there's
Okay.
a million of them that I wish I
Yeah.
wrote and starred in.
Okay. I think I got it.
Okay, Glenn, you want to go first? The Big Lebowski.
Okay, Rob.
Good one.
Rob said.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Dog
Oh
Day
wow! You know what? It was between the two, but I went with Lebowski just for the comedy of it. But honestly,
Dog Day,
don't
yeah.
know.
my second instinct was Dog Day Afternoon. My first was Big
But you wrote Lebowski. You wrote Lebowski.
I did because
I'm
I
gonna
think
say I'm gonna say it's not right. I'm gonna
God,
say
buddy, you
Dog
would
Day
have been
Afternoon.
great.
no. It's right. I think I watched Lebowski more than I have watched Dog Day Afternoon.
It would be a very different movie. Obviously, Jeff Bridges' performance in that is absolutely amazing. But like, I would like to see that movie with you in it. I think it'd be
Yeah.
amazing, dude.
I would like to make my own Lebowski at some point. You know,
You should.
working on it.
I'd rather see you in Dog Day Afternoon, if I'm being honest.
I'd like to do
I'd rather
both,
see
Rob.
you in Dog Day Afternoon, and Glenn, I'd like to see you in The Big Lebowski.
Oh God, I would love.
But
to.
maybe I want you playing Totoro's part though.
What about
No, I
me
would-
and Glenn in Dog Day Afternoon? Okay.
Yes.
Glenn and I are robbing the bank together.
Are you Pacino and I'm Cazale, or what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe we do like a cat day, mid lunch. A movie called Cat Day Mid Lunch, or
Cat Day Mid Lunch.
I'd see that movie.
Okay, we're moving on to Rob, guys. You ready? See how much you know Rob?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first question is, Caitlin and the kids are out of town. How is Rob spending his evening?
his evening. That's a joke answer. Shit. All right.
Well, if you're gonna go base, just pass. Just pass.
Base. It's not base.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
I'm ready.
All right. I'm gonna give my first answer as a joke, and my second answer is my real answer.
My first answer, which I wanted to do as a joke, I was going to write working.
That's why I wrote starting a new
wrote
business.
That's so sad because I wrote that and then stopped because I was like, oh, that's so sad.
Rob, I know you have a kickback side. I wrote drinking a Manhattan, watching the Eagles, as if the Eagles are an option, but
I wrote a Manhattan
Okay.
and a movie.
Oh my God, you
Manhattan
guys
in a
know me
movie.
so well because I literally started writing working and then was like, that's so sad. I don't want to do that. And then I wrote drinking whiskey and watching. And then I stopped because I was like, am I watching like
It depends
football
on the
or am
day.
I
So
watching?
I know that
Yes.
I know the Eagles were specific.
Yeah, you're watching
That,
something.
you guys know
whatever
me.
is it?
That's really.
I think that's a point to
really-
both of
I'll
us.
give a point to both.
Oh yeah, I think you should get 2 points because you got both. You got both of them.
But we actually, I kind
I
of
didn't
agree.
want to
I think we
write.
should
I
get-
didn't want to write working because it was so sad.
All right, 2 points it is, guys.
Yeah. But your first instinct would be like, okay, man, I got to come up with something. I have some time to focus, and the kids aren't here to bother me, so I could really dig in on some work here. And then it would be like, what has no one done yet? Like, what's Elon Musk done? I could probably do what he does. and then you'd be
And then
like,
realize
what-
I'm too stupid to do anything like that.
what is
So
the
how
world
can I make
need?
my
What's the
life as
dumber
hard as-
version of making that much money? What's like the dumb version of it? And I'd be like, what's the thing that I could do as a dumb guy? No, but listen, I actually understand the appeal of that. Like there's something kind of really nice about sitting down with a glass of whiskey or a glass of wine or whatever and getting some work done, considering that I would say, not everything we do is fun, but I actually really enjoy most of the work that I do.
Yeah.
For as much as it frustrates me. So it's actually fun sometimes to work
Yeah.
during non-work hours with a cocktail in your hand.
I think I probably could even squeeze another point out of this because the real answer is masturbating.
Well, right. That was the base.
Yeah,
that was the
Manhattan-
base answer. There was,
Yeah,
was the
Manhattan's
base.
porn.
all three things are correct.
All three. He's getting all three in for the night.
But wait a second. What you've just described what every man on the planet, in fact, probably any human on the planet would do if their families were not around. Masturbate, work, and then enjoy a cocktail and watch TV. I mean, that's it.
I think many would not work. Many
would not work.
forego the work. Most would be like, wait a second, I don't have to work. I'm just going to go straight to the masturbation.
Yeah.
And the booze and the movie.
Look, 2 out of 3 is
in
not
no
bad.
particular order. Probably
2 out of 3 is
usually
not
the
bad.
masturbation comes first. But
Beat it, drink it, watch it. Here's a question though. Would you make the Manhattan and drink the Manhattan while masturbating and then make another Manhattan for the movie? Or would you masturbate just to get it out of the way, just to get the demons out, and then make the Manhattan and go watch the
Well,
movie?
here's what I would say. I don't usually work at night. What I would probably do is I would wake up. I do what I do now, which is wake up really early before anybody's awake, then work. Then
I'm not talking
at
about
night,
working.
Well, then at night I would make. I only drink one Manhattan every night, a big one, but it's a big one, but it's just one. I drink the one, and then I watch the movie at the
32
same
ounce.
time. Then
Fucking 32 ounce Manhattan.
yeah, it's
a
big.
big gulp. Yeah.
And then when that's over, I turn whatever that show or movie was, and then I would complete my
At the
my
end.
evening.
Oh, see, I'd get it out of the way. I usually get it out of the way. I'm like, I got to get this out of me. I need to get this out of me, so I'm not thinking about it during the
Something to
movie.
look forward to. Something to look forward to.
Good for you. Delayed gratification.
Rob,
That's
what time did you wake up this morning? Did you wake up shortly before the podcast?
No, I got up at like 5:15.
good for you. God bless. I do. By the way, can we not move past the fact that in order to be able to tell yourself that you only have one drink a night, you basically make like twice the size of a normal Manhattan.
Maybe 3 times. I'll take a picture of it and put it on the podcast. Yeah, no, I take it to the brim.
The next question about Rob is, what was Rob's first job?
Oh, his first job.
Very first job.
Rob, this is in high school at some point, I'm assuming, right? Or like
No, this was in grade school.
in grade school.
Oh, you got to do something you got like a paycheck for.
I did. Well, was it a cash business? Well, okay. I'll tell you what. There's 2 answers.
If you call it your first job, you can say that.
I'm going classic here, guys. I'm going classic.
Okay, wait.
Okay, there is 2, but I think that's fair, Meg. And both of them are classic. Very Americana.
Okay,
Paperboy.
Glenn says
Paperboy.
Paperboy. Charlie?
I wrote altar boy, load wipe down boy.
Altar boy, parentheses, wipes down the loads.
Load boy. It was sort of just like robe destainer. I don't know. I wasn't sure what his actual job was, so I went with the joke.
Glenn is right. I had a paper route.
Okay.
and when I was like 11 or 12, and then I pumped gas in high school.
Oh, I remember that. Yes, I remember you talking about that. You pumped gas.
My freshman year of high school, I pumped gas.
But you get a paycheck for being a paper boy.
You get to pay, I can't remember if it was like a shady cash business. No, I don't know if I was old enough to have a job at 12.
So they may have had to
really
pay you under the
pay
table.
you like, yeah, and it was one of those local papers that nobody wanted. They would just like appear on your doorstep and you just take it and throw it in the garbage. So I think
Fair. I'll
they
give
paid me.
Glenn a point for that. The next question is, if Rob gave a TED Talk, what would the subject of it be?
Okay.
I went non-joke.
Okay, Charlie, what do you got?
Me too.
I wrote show running and the business of Hollywood.
All right,
Just
Glenn?
basically like, an area of expertise.
No one knows anything. Make your own rules.
Oh,
that's
pretty
interesting.
good. I like that, Glenn.
Oh, that's
Rob,
that's
what did
great.
you write down?
I said creative collaboration, which
I think we should give Charlie a point for that.
Glenn's is very Rob. How about we both get a point for that?
yeah. Well, those are the things that I've learned, and I think we all have learned a version of that. And these are all areas. I don't know, Meg. I think
A point each.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do think that this is something, that you discovered along the way, working on It's Always Sunny and various other projects, is that like, the rules that people set in place are often arbitrary or don't, no longer apply. And the people who are administering or, what's the word I'm looking for? Enforcing the rules don't even really understand what they're for or why they're beneficial to the project or whatever, So what you discover is that like your whole thing is to just push through, just do your thing, just do it, just fucking do it. And don't worry. I mean, and I'm not talking about like rules that
not
are
laws.
I'm not talking about laws, and I'm not. No. I'm not talking about laws.
How,
I'm not
how
talking,
often have we? How often have we, over the course of making this show, realized we've come up against an idea or a structure or something that was put in place long ago and then enforced by people who don't understand why they're enforcing it, and then you,
right.
if you just peel back and ask why, you realize that they don't know the answer, and then you realize, oh, there is no rule. This is just arbitrarily.
It's like there's no
place.
experts, and the so-called experts are really, their expertise is only just oftentimes what they're comfortable with not failing at, right? So they're like, well, we do this way because we won't fail. But then you're like, well, but why
And of course,
does it have to be
of course,
this way?
not all the time. There are lots of experts in different fields, and we have to be able to recognize which ones are the ones are to be listened to and which ones are the ones not.
This is what I like about you, Rob, if I may. You're not one to just break the rules arbitrarily or because you're not getting what you want. You will ask the question, what is the purpose of this rule? And if the answer satisfies you and it feels logical, then you'll follow the rule because you're like, that makes sense. I shouldn't, do X, Y, and Z because what you just said makes sense. You will listen to reason. It's just that if the rules don't make any sense or if the person explaining it can't explain it because they don't even know what it means and no one can explain it and no one can make sense of it, then you're like, no, fuck it. Then I'm not doing it.
Well, let's do a TED Talk. Let's do a 3-person TED Talk about this very thing.
Nah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
It sounds like a lot of work.
I'd rather be masturbating.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Isn't a TED Talk a form of masturbation? Let's be honest.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Self
Certainly for
gratification.
people named Ted, they're fucking psyched about it.
Okay, the next question is, what movie is most likely to make Rob cry?
Oh, okay.
Maybe After Manhattan.
I know like what the subject matter would be, but I can't think of which movie that is.
You could write subject matter if it fits with the movie he's written down. I'll give you a point for that.
I think I've got the general category, but I'm not sure if I've got the specific movie.
All right, Glenn. What's it say?
What does that say?
Pixar movie?
A Pixar movie.
So my first thought was because I you really like those Pixar movies. I thought maybe it would be a Pixar movie, and then I don't know why Inside Out was the one that popped, and I couldn't think of anything better. So I don't know.
I couldn't think of a movie. I just wrote anything where the subject matter is a dad and his sons. That's gonna cut you to the
That'll
quick.
get you.
Like if it's a movie about.
Yeah, I mean I think okay. So here's what I wrote. I wrote Rocky because it's the first thing that popped into my head. But what I would say is that
Rocky's gonna make you cry.
That movie makes you cry.
Yeah, Rocky makes me cry. Yeah.
Okay.
If I think about it and talk about it too much, I'll probably start crying. So I'm not going to do that. But Field of Dreams is a pretty.
Field of Dreams. There you go. Yep.
So that's a father-son story that's hard to deny.
You're definitely right about the whole father-son thing. Anytime like a father-son thing happens, I'm like, I can't handle it, man. It's like, it's so intense for me.
But I would say in terms of Pixar movies, anybody who watches the first, 6 minutes of Up and doesn't cry.
Oh my God.
Not
no,
a
you're
human
100%.
being.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That opening is so mind-blowingly good. You're
I remember
so right,
a moment with you, Glenn, where you said something about, we were having this conversation. You were like, I'm not into animated movies. They don't really make me feel, I don't really care that much. I don't know that I can be emotionally invested. And I said, did you see Up? And you said no. And I sat there and watched it with you. I was like, let's
I cried
watch
when we
this. And
watched it.
And
I think I
cried,
might have cried.
You cried. You did. You did.
Yeah. It's one of the best things I've ever seen.
It's one of the best openings to any movie ever.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. How they make you care they make you care so much in such a short period of time right at the beginning. I mean, that's for anyone who and anyone who understands filmmaking knows how difficult that is, to make people feel something deeply in the first 5 minutes of watching something is almost impossible.
Yeah,
it's almost impossible. And then you're emotionally invested in these characters right from the go. I mean, that is so difficult to do as a filmmaker. Mad respect for the people who made Up, yeah.
Mad respect.
Big ups.
Mad respect. Big ups.
Big ups.
Big ups.
Big ups for Pixar, yeah.
Okay,
Big
this
ups
is
for
the
Up.
last one for Rob. Rob has to give up either booze or sex. How does he kill himself? Sex rampage or booze rampage?
I mean,
Got it.
I feel like I sound like such an alcoholic. I drink one Manhattan a night.
One big
Do you have
gulp
more
of a
than
Manhattan.
one sex a night, or does that?
More
So
than
maybe
one
give
sex.
up the booze.
Okay, I've got
I went
mine.
with sex. How are you not gonna
Sex rampage.
Yeah, how are you not gonna have a sex rampage?
Well,
Rob?
drink.
Okay. Hold on one second.
Did you write booze?
Guys, can we
here's
write
what
a
I-
movie called Sex
Oh
Rampage?
my God.
Can I reframe the question for myself just so am I married?
No.
Oh.
All right, he's changed his answer. All right, sex
Yeah,
rampage.
That was very sweet of you to
Very, very safe of
consider
you.
your wife and children in your hypothetical.
Very safe.
Yeah, I assumed if I'm gonna kill myself, I want to do it with virtue.
Okay, so the speed round is basically that I'm going to ask you questions about who is the most whatever amongst the three of you, and the consensus
You write
wins.
their
So you
name.
write R, C, or G, and you can write yourself if you feel like you're the.
but that don't mean I can't get you there.